Well, hello, ladies, and welcome to the Fullest Life podcast. I'm your host, Zavita Tucker, and ladies, I am coming to you guys right now from my hotel room in Brockport, New York. It's outside of the Rochester area, and I had some moments, a free moment, which doesn't happen often lately, but I said, "Ha! Seems like a great time to talk to my friends on the Fullest Life podcast." And so here I am. I am actually sitting, enjoying like a really great meal. And it's my version of a great meal. And I'm gonna share it with you. So I'm having this cheese tray. I love cheeses, guys. So one over here, this is a Bon Vivant, and it's like a really creamy, buttery, sweet kind of cheese. And around it, those are like candy pecans. In the middle, this is here. This cheese here is called it's 1916. You get it at Wegmans. It's almost the consistency, both of those, of a brie. This one's a little tangier flavor to it. Still has some sweetness, but it's a little tangier. Not as a brie, but it's really good. And there's some cranberries over there. Then I have some aged cheddar here, and then some dates. I have my shrimp. Oh, y'all, I'm just telling you, I'm over here in the hotel having a wonderful time. My sparkling water. This is Copa, and Copa is a pork. It comes from, it's not prosciutto, it's a pork, but it comes from the shoulder instead of from the loin like the prosciutto. And then I have my olives and my grape leaves and my peppers there, and I have some crackers. And it is just a wonderful time for me right now in this hotel room. But I thought I would get on and share for a moment because as I was sitting eating, it came to mind, and the thought came to mind how different we are as people, how much we're alike, but how much we're different. And sometimes your differences in life cause people to be threatened. They don't understand you. And it's not that they don't like you as a person. And it's not that they don't want to support you or be with you. But sometimes it's just a little too different from them. And so I want to encourage us to be our original and our authentic selves. Now, I know that everybody is not going to eat what I eat. I know that some people are going to be like, come on, Vita, you're in the hotel room. Yes. And I went out and that's what I got because that's me. But I don't want to ever think that we should stifle who we are as individuals to make friends or to keep friends or to build relationships, because there becomes a point in our lives when instead of being a pleaser, you become a doormat. And I don't know about you, but I don't think us living our fullest life looks like a doormat. We don't have to allow people to walk over us and to um, just take advantage of us or to stifle who we really are in order to make relationships. I love people of all kinds. Let me tell you, people to me are like food. If you know anything about me, I love food. I love all kinds of food. You name it, I pretty much eat it. This is just an example. I mean, I like food, but I like people too. And I don't want everybody around me to be the same person. I don't want everyone around me to be me. Because if everybody is like me, then I can't learn anything from them. I can't grow, I can't expand. And so I am encouraging us as women to expand our horizon. Think about the people that are around you. Are they all just like you? How full is that life if everybody around you looks like you, acts like you, walks like you, talks like you, eat like you, drink like you, dress like you, all of that? I remember years ago, um, a ministry that I was a part of. And I remember this young lady said to me one day, she said, I don't wear skirts and certain things. And I said, why? She said, because our pastor does it. And I was like, well, what does that have to do with you? Because she doesn't wear a skirt doesn't mean you can't wear a skirt. And at the time, I had a conversation with our pastor about it, and she said she didn't wear the skirts because she had really skinny legs and she didn't like the way they look. And so there you had someone imitating someone out of a wrong heart. We have to be who we're called to be. We have to be our authentic selves. And that doesn't mean you're threatening to people, doesn't mean that you're ignorant, doesn't mean that you say crazy things. It just means that you love who you are and you own it. You own who you are. And it's not don't be apologetic. I'm not apologetic for anything that I am. I y'all, I have so many stories. I'm telling you, I've been through some stuff. But I remember when I went through flight attendant training. And there was a group of ladies that decided that, as doing our flight attendant training years ago, that they were going to get together in the evening time and study. And so all of them that were getting together in the evening to study, they were all Black women. And so I came down from my room one day and I saw them all there, and I was like, wow, y'all studying, you didn't even tell me. And one of the girls said, oh, it's for Black women. I'm sorry. Am I not a Black woman? And she was like, not really. You're only Black on the outside. What is that about? And you know what? I said, it's okay. I'm not threatening. I'm not upset. Went on about my business and kept on moving. Because if anything that I don't have to do is I don't have to prove who I am to anyone. So if that wasn't the group for me, because if I didn't act like they act or spoke like they spoke, then I wasn't enough to be a part of the group, then I was okay not being a part of the group. We have to get to the point in our life that we are okay not fitting in everywhere. And when I say that to be agreeable is that, for me, this is my definition of being agreeable. If it is two of us sitting somewhere and you're like, I want to see a scary movie, and I say, I don't want to see a scary movie because I don't do scary movies, and I say, hey, I like romantic comedies, then we find a happy medium that makes both of us happy. Maybe we just go and see, some other kind of movie, an action movie. That's agreeable. But when you compromise who you are and you put yourself down in order to make people like you and to make people accept you, then you're not being agreeable. What you're being is unauthentic. You're not being true to yourself. And what that does is that weighs you down. Over time, you get weighed down by the weight of trying to prove yourself, and the relationship eventually will end anyway. So start off in the relationship being your authentic self. People like you, you know, being 50% of yourself is better than being 100% of somebody else every single time. But how about being 100% of who you authentically are, who you really are? And who you are is made up of your family dynamic. It's made up of the environment you grew up in. It's made up of things that you've learned over the years. It's made up of relationships that you've been in, all kinds of things. So it's a nature and nurture thing that makes us who we are as individuals. And the moment we stop and say, hey, I can't be me anymore because everybody needs to accept me and I need to be liked by everybody, we lose ourselves, ladies. And that is not living our fullest life. So my desire for us is to be our fullest life. If you know already, I can't even tell you how many podcasts about being your authentic self. And it will be something I forever talk about because I see it everywhere I go. I see it all across the country, from California to New York, from Texas to Minneapolis, and everywhere in between. I see people trying to put on airs and trying to pretend and not being their true selves because they're so afraid of not being accepted. But I want you to know that not being accepted is sometimes okay. Rejection can be a form of protection. Sometimes God has people who will reject you because you never needed to be with that crowd anyway. They had meant you no good, and sometimes he heard what they were saying about you when you couldn't hear what they were saying about you. So move on. Don't hold animosity. Don't be mad about it. Love on people, but you keep on moving. You be your authentic self. Because when you're your authentic self, you are living your fullest life. You know, Psalms was our scriptures. Psalm 16:11. And in it, the Lord says that he will show us the path of life. He will show us. Each of us have a path of life. And in his presence, who Vita's called to be, in him, that's who I want to be. I don't want to be who people want me to be in them. I only want to be who I'm called to be in the Lord. But in his presence is fullness of joy. When you are who you are called to be and you are walking authentically in who you're called, there is fullness of joy. You can smile. You can have joy in your heart. Again, doesn't mean that we don't have situations, circumstances, and problems going on. It just means that I am happy with me. I'm okay with me. And I want you to be okay with you also. And then we don't want to forget the end of that scripture. It says, and then there are pleasures forevermore. There is nothing more pleasing to me right now, y'all, than that I'm finna finish eating this food. I am a happy camper. Not because I can only imagine what I would be, how I would feel if I went into the store to buy this food and I'm like thinking about, what is this person going to think? And what is that person going to think? And I probably shouldn't buy that. No, I'll just go and eat some McDonald's and come back. No, absolutely not. Okay? And if you are a person who just wants to eat some McDonald's, then you eat your McDonald's. What is that football player name? He's retired. Chad Ochocinco, whatever his name is. Just Google him. He loves McDonald's, and he will tell anybody. He ate McDonald's before he went to the NFL. He ate McDonald's while he was in the NFL. He's still eating McDonald's. That's his thing. But he's authentically who he is. Be authentically who you are. Don't let people stifle you. Don't stop having fun. Don't stop enjoying your life because folks don't like it. You know what? Because there will always be someone who doesn't like what you do. You can do it everything that everybody wants, and somebody is going to complain. You know why? Because there's always complainers. There's always somebody who's not going to be happy with what you're doing. You know, I had a lady the other day tell me that, guys, I travel and I speak on kindness and compassion, kind of get people to connect and kind of get us to be our authentic selves also and love who you are so that we can be in a better world. If we would just grasp a hold of those things, kindness, compassion, respect for yourself and respect for others, willing to connect with others and build relationships, this world would change. And so I was telling someone about it the other day, and she asked me, she's like, are you still doing that thing? I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh yeah, you need to stop doing that. The world's not going to change. You're wasting your time. Stop doing that. Is that not the craziest thing you ever heard? Now, had I taken wanting to please her as my goal in life, I stopped doing what I love to do. There would be lives that I would never touch because one person said stop. But guess what? Too bad. I love who I am. I'm authentically me, and I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to touch as many lives and as many hearts as I can. And so I am reaching out to you, however you are, whoever you are. I don't care if you are the street sweeper. If you think that is your call and your purpose, and that's authentically what you love to do, sweep them streets. Sweep it with a smile, and don't let anybody stop you. Whatever it is that you would like and who you think you are authentically, be that person and live your fullest life. Because if we live full, we will die empty. We will not lay on our beds saying, man, I wish I had. I wish I hadn't listened to this person or that person. I wish I had did that. Just do it. Just be you. They will love you or they won't love you. They will accept you or they won't accept you. And everyone who doesn't accept you doesn't mean they don't love you. It just means that you might be just too much for them. It's okay. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it in love and keep respecting others. So that is the Fullest Life podcast for today. I love you all. I tell you, and I mean it with all that's in me. I love you. If no one has told you since I was on over a week ago, if you haven't heard I love you, I love you. And so I want the best for you all. Live your fullest life and have a super fantastic remainder of your week. I'm going to finish eating. Take care, y'all. Bye-bye.